Rumor of Deutsche Bank may reach settlement agreement with U.S. Department of Justice. Stocks of Deutsche Bank rally. Whoa. Wait a minute. What's this? What's this Sunday night, 2 days later after the rally? Whoa. Wait a minute. What is this? What is this? Some Deutsche Bank clients unable to access cash due to IT outage. Deutsche Bank, listen, my name is J-Step4. I've been crapping on you lately. Feel kind of bad. Man, you need to. I'm a pretty solid IT guy. I'll work for free to help you because I want to see those customers get their cash out of your bank in a hurry. Hit me up free of charge. I'll hook you up. Need some servers? What do you need? I mean, server down? What do you mean? Because IT outage. What does that mean? IT. Yeah, it's like Bill O'Reilly. What does it mean to play us out? An IT outage. Well, it means like the infrastructure's down. Oh, like the system's down? Yeah. All right, go. In 3, 2, 1. I'm Bill. Anyways. While it seems that Friday's rumor, this is Zero Hedge again. I love Zero Hedge. While it now seems that Friday's rumor of a substantial reduced Deutsche Bank settlement with the Department of Justice, which sent the stock price soaring from all-time lows, was false. Oh, what? Did I miss another one? Is this a 2-for-1 video? Substantially reduced. We talked about Friday. Rumor. I came out and said it in my video. Rumor. Oh, rumor. It's not true. It's just a rumor. Markets rally. I said it. Which sent the stock soaring from all-time lows was false. Following an FAZ report that CEO John Cryan has not yet begun the negotiation process, and in the next few days is set to fly to the U.S. to discuss the proposed RMBS mis-selling settlement with the U.S. Attorney General. Wow, and they link to their other story, which is also posted today, Sunday, that is. And I'm going to read you that because it's extremely short, and it goes right in line with what I'm reading you here. About that Deutsche Bank settlement rumor. CEO Cryan hasn't even started negotiations with the Department of Justice. Markets rally. And you want to know what's really screwed up about that? I told you Thursday it's crashing. It's down 10%. It's horrible. Can't wait to see what happens Friday. And what happens? The old buckaroo U-turn on you. They did the old buckaroo. Flipped it around. Markets rallied 14%. And I said then, do you know how many people just got cleaned out expecting more turmoil with Deutsche Bank? And they rightfully should have expected more turmoil. So everybody who lost their rear end betting that Deutsche Bank's going to go down even more and really lost it because it went up 14% and everything's leveraged. So they got cleaned out. You should all file a lawsuit to get your money back from being cleaned out. And whoever came up with the rumor, some French company, whatever that nonsense was, file the lawsuit against them. Your false news caused a panic rally. I'd like to see where that goes. But at the same time, if you're one of those people, do you want to have to deal with that? Do you want to have, I got to find a lawyer. Maybe they'll do a class action. If they do a class action, I'll never get anything near what I lost. Oh my God. When all you had to do is stop playing silly games with that stupid money on these paper markets and use it to buy some of these. Oh, and I'm sure there's some of you, oh, well, I play that stupid silly game, J-Snip, and I do make money. I've been making money. And I use that extra money to go and buy that silver. And to that, honestly, to that, I say, good for you, but damn it, you're playing with fire. You are playing with fire. This subscriber's on fire. That's right. So anyways, Friday's market session was about one thing with Deutsche Bank stock closing a week ahead of a 3-day holiday at a record low. It did not, because as we reported, the AFP announced that based on sources, most likely from Twitter, the Department of Justice was willing to reduce the $14 billion settlement that sent Deutsche Bank stock on a roller coaster ride over the past 2 weeks to just under $6 billion. The news unleashed a massive short squeeze relief rally, which sent Deutsche Bank stock soaring on Friday, pushing the entire market up with it 1%. Can you imagine that? The whole market rallies because one bank stock has a rumor. Is that what this system really is? I mean, is this a real system? A rumor can move the entire market, not just Deutsche Bank, the entire market up 1% based off that news. And it was even said that it's just a rumor. Unbelievable. So back to the other article. And that's the one of some Deutsche Bank clients unable to access cash due to IT error. Okay. For one, it remains unclear if Friday's report halted or reversed the outflow of cash from Deutsche Bank's primary brokerage clients, which, as Bloomberg first reported last week, was a major catalyst for the swoon in the stock price. However, as UniCredit's chief economist Eric Nielsen notes in Sunday Notes, one thing is certain. So long as a fine of this order of magnitude, $14 billion, is even remotely possible, markets worry. Apparently Friday they didn't worry because they said it wasn't going to be $14 billion. We've made them negotiate down to 4.5 or whatever it was billion, and all is good. And yet I said after that, they were already talking weeks ago that anything over $3.5 billion would be terrible for Deutsche Bank anyways, and they'd still be in deep crap. Oh, that's okay. Markets rally anyways. There's also the threat of the bank's massive derivative book, which, despite attempts of many pundits to gloss over the weekend, none other than J.P. Morgan attended that it was the markets will likely be focusing on for the foreseeable future. So I guess the derivatives book is what the markets are going to likely be focusing on for Deutsche Bank in the foreseeable future. It says, in our opinion, it is not so much funding issues, but rather derivatives exposures that are more likely to trouble markets going forward if Deutsche Bank concerns continue. Oh, they're going to continue, let me tell you. This is especially true if these concerns propagate into a confidence crisis, inducing more rapid unwinding of derivatives contracts. And it's going to do that, okay? Where are we going with this, JP Morgan? And as CNBC's Jeff Cox correctly observed subsequently, at the core of this week's investor angst is a word that came up during Bear Stearns' demise: novation, or a request by hedge funds that deal with the bank to have others take their place in derivatives trades. In the case of Bear Stearns, word in March 2008 that Goldman Sachs had refused a novation request spread panic through Wall Street. Well, that was March. April, May, June, July, August, September, October. I mean, it was 7 months practically before the big bang happened with Bear Stearns, or 6 or 7 months. A few days later, the erstwhile Wall Street institution was no more. Though Bear, oh wait a minute, a few days later, did Bear Stearns, did they actually collapse way before the 2000, when did Bear Stearns fail? Try to see when this is. Just so got to be accurate. Let me push the pause button here. I want to keep you waiting. Hang on. Okay, so it actually was Bear Stearns. I'm thinking of probably Lehman Brothers. Bear Stearns, March 16th. You need to have a done deal by Sunday night. It said by Friday, the Federal Reserve stepped in to provide a bridge loan through J.P. Morgan to ensure that Bear could make it to the weekend. But while Bear's executives had originally interpreted the deal to include financing for up to a month, they soon learned otherwise. During a late-night conversation with old Hank Paulson, remember him, the then Secretary of the Treasury, informed Schwartz that a deal had to be completed before markets opened on Monday. And by a hook or crook, a deal was done. By Sunday night, with an additional nudge by the Federal Reserve, Bear's board of directors agreed to sell the bank to JP Morgan for an absolute fire sale steal of $2 a share. What was Bear Stearns' top stock price? 52-week high was $133. Price far below its pre-crisis 52-week high of $133 a share. JP Morgan steps in and says, we'll give you $2, and has the Federal Reserve Mafia, the Secretary of the Treasury Mafia, step in and say, you got to have a deal before the markets open. It's Saturday and Sunday. What the hell do you think we're going to do? How can we do a deal in 2 days? Don't know, but you're going to have to hurry. Guys, you don't have a choice. They got us by the balls. $2 a share. Let them have it. Do you understand? Do you know that JP Morgan, during the 1929 collapse, also did a similar thing to all the banks he wanted to buy? Has the Federal Reserve pull back on the money flow? The banks all collapse. We need liquidity. We need help. Federal Reserve, no. Can't help you. They had to call in the loans as they used to do back then. I know I gave you farmers these loans, but we need the money now, and we reserve the right to get it now, even though you can't pay it in full. We're sorry. We'll take your farm, whatever. Give it to us. They still collapsed. JP Morgan steps in. The man JP Morgan, not the bank. The man JP Morgan steps in. I'll buy all these banks up. Pennies on the dollar, because you're failing anyways. Buys them all up. Whispers over to his buddies at the Fed. Go ahead and let the money printing presses kick in. News stories come out. Oh, the Federal Reserve is going to step help solve some of the banking crisis and help and give some liquidity to the banks. Oh, to the banks. Which banks? The ones JP Morgan now owns? That's a Big Ten for. You may not have known that history. Glad I can give it to you. But while Deutsche Bank's market woes have been duly discussed at home, the bank is fighting a rearguard action, as Reuters writes, seeking to shore up confidence among the public, politicians, and regulators. What do you mean, shore up confidence among the public, politicians, and regulators? You've had the politicians and regulators already come out recently and say, oh, Deutsche Bank's fine. No, that's cool. Everything's good. It's the public that didn't come out and say, we feel comfortable with Deutsche Bank. As a matter of fact, I think the public's feeling a little bit shaky about Deutsche Bank, and so are some of those hedge funds who ran out with both hands as fast as they could last week. So it's to shore up confidence among the public, politicians, and regulators who say the bank brought many of its problems upon itself by overreaching itself and then reacting too slowly to the 2008 financial crisis. But hold on, everybody was bailed out, money was printed, banks were given 0% interest rate. It's 8 years later, it's 2016. What are you talking about? I thought this was a non-issue. Well, that's right, the banks realize we are too big to fail. We are too big to fail. We can do whatever we want. Guys, get the gambling casinos back open. We're going to gamble like it's 1999. We're going to gamble like it's 1999 because we got the Federal Reserve, the European Central Bank, countries backing us. And those country leaders, those are guys we put in, they'll make sure those entities bail us out. So let's make some even bigger bets. The CEOs of these banks went on to make more money, bonuses and all, than they've ever made in their lives over the last 8 years. Meaning after the financial crisis, they went on to make even more money because they were more reckless. And they know we can just cook the books entirely. We're systemically important. We can do anything we want. So I want you guys to really cook those books so it makes our company look really strong, even though it's not, as we're finding out with Deutsche Bank. So among rumors about state aid, the dramatic fall in its stock price, and an attack by hedge funds on the most important domestic bank, now come reports of a new IT glitch. Quote, customers cannot access their cash because it is blocked. A customer complained on Saturday morning to Handelsblatt, adding that, I am stunned. I can't make weekend purchases since I can't neither get cash nor pay by card. Swipe your card. Sorry, doesn't work. Okay, put my card in ATM. Give me some cash. Sorry, doesn't work. That's not going to be a good news story for Deutsche Bank this week. The head fake Friday. Oh, everything's fine. Deutsche Bank's up 14%. Yeah. I said it then. Look, when you have these people coming out, the politicians came out. Well, it's fine. Don't worry about it. ECB. They're good. Deutsche Bank's nothing to worry about. When they come out, they do this every time. When they come out and tell you everything's fine, that is code word for panic. Super panic is what that means. While the bank emphasized that the glitch was temporary and only a few customers were affected, it was still embarrassing, an embarrassing moment, as this was just the latest glitch to affect the bank. 1 week ago, the bank suffered delays and errors in its online banking platform, and in many cases, deposits and debits were displayed twice or not displayed at all. In June, customers were unable to withdraw money. Also, as reported here, Zero Hedge, in late August, Deutsche Bank was forced to make a statement after reports emerged that it was unable to provide physical gold upon request for delivery from the Zetra Gold ETN, which I covered that as well. So, point being, everything's not all right. Everything's not okay, especially over there in Deutsche Bank land. It is the single largest derivatives holder of all the banks on the face of the earth. I showed you the other day the little chart with the little wheel, the little outer ring of that wheel with little big circles. JP Morgan's attached to them, HSBC, and they insure each other for these derivatives. In case they make a bad bet, I need this credit default swap to kick in and bail me out, basically. We've been paying you insurance, so we need it now. That's fine and dandy until you say, how much do you need? A couple trill. A couple mil? No, a couple trill. Maybe you said a couple billion. No, sir. We need a couple trillion. I'm just a small insurance kind of a company. We do banking, but we do write some of these credit defaults. Well, we don't have that kind of money. You out of your flipping mind? Well, then you better call. You're going to default now, and you're going to have to call the guy who insures you. Oh, well, that's HSBC. Let me give him a call. And HSBC is going to call Bank of America and so on and so forth. And then you're going to hear again another AIG, big insurance company that specializes in insurance, not the banks. AIG needs to bail out again, or this one needs to, The question is, are the people going to put up with it again this time? After being told we had to do it one time, it was a one-off, everything's fine, 5% unemployment in America, everything's great. And everyone's scratching their head. Well, these things don't match up. That thermometer doesn't read the right thing that it should be reading based off of this information. You appear to be rigging that. Rumors causing market to rally. The whole market to rally 1% off of what? I feel for the average person who has money in any kind of shape or form in Deutsche Bank. And I will tell you, I can't wait to see how it goes. Get your popcorn ready. Take care.